don't mind, welcome back to First Time Reefer TV. And today I am feeling completely under the weather. So we're featuring an episode with Andrew Bullock. Andrew works at Nature Aquariums in Mont Albert. So say hello, Andrew.
Hello guys.
Fantastic. This video is going to be a little bit of a water change or maintenance regime that we go through with the tank. Fortunately, Andrew's going to be here to help most of it because I've got a new addition to the family, a newborn inside, so I do have to play daddy for a little bit. So, and my wife will probably kill me if I'm out here playing my fish tank for too long. So, we're going to walk through the water change drums that I've got over here, the reservoirs, what products we use, and how we go through a water change. So let's do this. All right, so we've got the water station over here. I'm actually going to get Andrew to start weighing out the salt. And the salt I'm using is Aquaforest Reef salt. Pretty much been using that from day one and super happy with it. So what was the measurements again, Andrew? To 100 litre. So this is a 100 litre drum.
About 4.15 kilos.
4.15 kilos of salt. So we're going to measure that out on the scales, get that tared and make sure it's exactly that. We're going to dump it into this one. So when it comes to the water station, I've got the Reef Pure RO 4-stage RO unit here. I'm going to upgrade that soon to include a pressure gauge and a second RO membrane to reduce the wastewater and hopefully produce a little bit more water than I am at the moment. And it goes to this drum here, so that holds all of my RO, which is plumbed straight through this cable here. So from there, I've got a pump which can pump up into the top of the tank here, which tops up that reservoir. In future, I actually do want to get an ATO that has a sensor inside the reservoir there, so it can automatically top up the RO from that drum straight into my tank, so I don't even have to think about that. From there, I actually pump the RO over to this unit. It's got a pump that's circulating water at the moment, which you can see, and I've got a heater running in that as well. The heater's been running for a day and a bit now, just so I can get the water in that tank to the same temperature as my tank, because I like to do quite large water changes and be in a situation where, well, sometimes I'm in a situation where I do need to do a large water change like I am today. Unfortunately, my GFO exhausted and the phosphates have crept up, which has caused a little bit of cyano in the tank. A couple of the corals aren't too happy, so hopefully we do a big water change, halve that nutrient load, and then the phosphate miners from Aquaforest can take over from there. So really, really simple system. I'm probably going to get a third, or I am actually getting a third drum, which my man Nicholas Lee has got for me. So that allows me to have 2 RO, 1 mixing, and that's plenty of water for my tank. So really, really simple. And then basically, once it's mixed up in this drum, I can literally just turn off the water flow like that, suck the water out of the tank, hook this over the top, turn it back on, and boom, no more buckets. Lucky for you. So we've got here 4.15 kilos exactly. That's going to go into this drum here. So my man, please pour it in. Now the thing I love about Aquaforest salt is it mixes really, really quickly because the salt fines are actually really, really fine, which is fantastic. So this water will probably be cloudy for about 10 minutes or so, and with the pump circulating, it'll pretty much be clear straight after that and ready to use. I try and mix as much water as I'm going to use in one go. We can probably rinse out that bucket a little bit. Do you need to?
Yeah.
Got it. So I try and use and mix as much as I need for the water change. Inevitably, sometimes you're going to be left over with a little bit more, but I like to mix just fresh salt water and use that every single time. So excuse the rest of the garage. I am in the middle of just neatening up the garage and especially my fish section so my wife doesn't kill me. I might as well run you guys through it. I've got this bad boy here set up and running. Up the top here, I'm going to move all the controllers that are currently in the CAD cabinet over to there, so everything is really accessible when I want to come up and do a water change. Literally just hit 4 buttons to turn everything off and we're good to go. And then I'm going to remove this side panel so I can get clear side access. Now, this one here, I can swing it open like that, access all the power points, access all the lines, and then literally just close it once I remove the power point properly. And everything looks neat. So still running the same life support inside the tank there. So I've got a skimmer, paxbellum, algal reactor, and a media reactor running aquaforest carbon and phosphate minus to keep nutrients under control. So I've actually got an app now that I'm actually logging all of my stuff on, so then I don't forget to change things out or do water changes. So I highly recommend that to you guys, or at least write it down somewhere so you can keep track of it, especially what you're feeding, what it does to the water parameters. I'm looking forward to setting up the KH lab and trying to get my alkalinity down pat. So Andrew, we're going to start shutting down this tank so we can do this water change. Alright, so we're going to turn off the skimmer. That's the first thing I turn off before we do anything, because obviously the water level's going to change. Those pumps over there, mate, can you just pull the power out of them? I find that easy. Don't pull it out, but unplug the power. Unplug the power on that wave maker. That's it. Now the Nero 5 is fantastic, probably one of my favorites. Literally just jump in. Yeah, let's focus. Hit my AI, opens up the app, hit onto that. It has a Bluetooth LE connection, so it's always connected. 3 seconds it's connected, hit all off, boom, that's done. When I want to turn it back on again, go in, connect, hit schedule, bang, it's back on. It's simple. Probably one of my favorite wave makers, and I'll do a review on that one coming up soon. So just as the water's going down, I think it's all down now. Now the thing I love about my sump setup is, even though my water flow is all off at the moment, my sump still has water circulating because there's a separate return pump running the algae reactor and the media reactor. So that allows the nitrified bacteria to actually stay alive as opposed to possibly dying if the water change happens to take a little bit longer than normal. So we're going to open this side door here. My man, get the bucket and let's start siphoning. I'm just going to siphon the water out. In my tank, luckily, because of the way I've got the wave maker set up, I obviously do have a little bit of detritus that sits in the tank, but it all sits at the front here. So when it comes to water changes, it's pretty easy that it all just pulls at the front. So that's basically everywhere you need to siphon from. Give the glass a quick run over. Now eventually I'd love to get these water changes automated. It can allow me to spend more time probably enjoying the tank than doing this sort of stuff. But baby steps. Obviously once we get a bigger tank, it's going to be probably necessary. Because I'm not going to have Andrew to hang out with me all the time now, am I?
No, not every day.
So tell us a little bit about your tank while you're around just siphoning that crap. What tank have you got at home? You got a Cade, eh?
So, yeah, I've got a Cade 900.
Yeah.
Not the Pro Reef.
Yeah. You bought that second hand, I believe, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought that second hand. Save a little bit of money on the tank and then get some better equipment.
Yeah.
So I'm old school. I run my halides. So
Do you run metal halides?
still run my radiums.
Is that just your preference, or do you think because it's proven?
Because it's proven and just plug and play.
Yeah. That makes it quite easy, doesn't it? Probably going to take the opportunity to take this wave maker out, because my next video I'll probably do a review on that. Someone did ask me for that, so I'll make sure it's nice and clean. I'm just going to go grab some vinegar. We've got to suck out 5 buckets.
Yeah, sorry. Cool. Why does this not want to start?
Sorry?
There you go. 4th time lucky.
Yummy. So to clean my wave makers, literally just half tank water and half vinegar. I just let it sit there for a bit to break it all down. I'll probably get that feed addition there as well.
Reagent.
So water's finished mixing. Before we use the Milwaukee refractometer. I'm just going to use some distilled water just to calibrate it at 0. And I'll get some water whenever Andrew comes over. We'll do it for this tank, not the fish tank. And I've never owned any other refractometer except for this, so I suppose I'm pretty spoiled for choice. I've been pretty spoiled. I hate those ones where you have to look through 1027. So we're going to add just a little bit of RO water to that tub there, just to bring it back to 1026, and we get boogie into the tank. Now for me, what made me realise that phosphate was creeping up was the presence of cyano popping up, which I know as soon as my my carbon and my phosphate minus is getting exhausted, it quickly pops up. I do feed a lot of frozen food. I don't know whether that has anything to do with it, but I knew I had to do a pretty drastic water change pretty quickly before it starts affecting anything else. Now, these knowers are starting to get exposed now, so we've got to make sure we don't touch them or squeeze them or let it squirt any water on us. So I've got my safety goggles on. I don't know about you, but not much I can do about that. So now that's the final bucket out. I'll literally turn this off, and we know that it's at the right salinity that I want it to be at. Bring it over to the tank, turn it back on, just let it hang there. That's how I do water changes, no buckets! Except for the ones taking the water out. So probably a smarter thing to do will be, once I've drained the tank to the level that is 80 or 100 litres, probably just get a little permanent marker and just leave a mark in there, so that I can just run a hose straight out to the drain outside. I don't know if I just drain it out to there, it's going to be fine. So, I don't know the texture. I'll do that for next time. So let's fill this baby up. Change over the filter floss as well, because we've got the acrylic filter socks. I kind of wish I had an automated filter sock, would make life so much easier, but these have been way better than socks, so I'll take that. Now the water is a little bit cloudy, probably because my water station drum actually needs to be washed out before I mix another batch of salt, but we'll turn it on now. Andrew, if we can plug in the return pump, my friend. So that's water maintenance done on the tank, nice and quick. Thank you to Andrew Bullock from Nature Aquariums dropping in and giving me a hand. So thank you, Andrew. Hope you guys learned something about my water change station. If you've got any questions, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Please like, share, subscribe if you're liking what I'm doing or if you learned anything today. And until next time, guys, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3, peace! You didn't say peace, you jerk.
Yeah, I did.